Have you ever heard somebody say video games will never do anything for you in life or will never serve society or video games are a waste of time? Well, I am here to show that that is a big fat lie. Y'all, I'm telling you, I'm here to show you how we are changing the world through an indie game. Let's start with number one. Check this out, y'all. All right, so you see this tiny house right here? I got this tiny house because of a video game, the video game that we are making. And the reason why I got the house was because I was like, man, rents are crazy right now. And I'm not trying to spend an arm and leg on rents. And I have to put all my money towards the game that we're building. So I had to think and be creative with how I was going to have housing, y'all. And this is the solution that I was able to come up with. Man, I'm telling you, look, no mortgage, no rent whatsoever. And on top of that, I have solar power. Even though it's a cloudy day, I still get solar power. And I'm on a water well, so I'm not on city water. So I not only do I have housing, not only am I rent free or mortgage free, but I also have free utilities. The only thing I'm really paying for that we have to pay for right now is internet. But y'all, this right here, what you see right now, y'all, because of a video game. All right. My journey, I'm trying to tell you, my passion for creating video games is what brought me here. I had to get some better shots for you guys, but yeah, this is my tiny house, y'all. And so I'm gonna do another video and give you guys a tour of the whole house and everything. This is one of the things, and I'm going to explain deeper as to how this is exactly changing the world, right? This is serving me, but let me tell you the path that this has led me on. All right, now that y'all have seen that, you saw the tiny house. Now let me show you how that's changing the world, how it's impacting the world in a great way. So we're going to go back here, right? For the sake of the video, I'm not going to go through all of this. I'm just going to show number one. And there will be more videos explaining exactly how we're doing the rest of these things going down the list. All right, so the path that this led me to all this tiny house and getting involved, I started to really get involved into the movement. I was like, wow, like how many more people, right? Homeless, single moms, creatives like myself, business startups. How many more people could benefit from this? After living in the house for like a year or two and seeing like, man, just the lifestyle, I'm like, this is amazing. More people need this. So I got involved with this right here, Tiny House Community Development. This organization right here, y'all, I got involved with them. You know, they build tiny house for homeless, people who are homeless, for veterans. They build tiny houses for all types of people, man. And, you know, I first found out about it from my neighbor, and I started going to the Saturday ministries where they pretty much they do breakfast for the homeless on Saturdays. So I started going to that and just learning about everything that they're doing. And I'm just like, wow, man, I really want to be a part of this. Like, I really want to, after my experience, I really want to support this movement. And so, yeah, I've been involved in supporting this organization and just the tiny house movement and sharing education with people that this is an option for home ownership. This is a hot option for accessible housing. And it's also teaches a lifestyle of self-sustainability. Like I said, I'm on solar power. I'm on well water. You know what I mean? There's not a water bill or an electric bill. So a fun little fact, it was raining today. But even though it is raining, you still get solar power. Even though it's cloudy, you still get, there's still UV rays out there. Even though it's a cloudy day. Here, look, I'll show you. It was raining today too. Just a quick fact. All right. So it's like, man. And then, like I said, on top of that, I'm living off of land that we own and there's no mortgage. My house is paid off. I only paid like, honestly, I paid like 4 G's for this house. 2, you know, like I said, no rent. So this is how an indie game, me starting an indie game from years ago, it led me to this path, man. Houses, tiny houses, that's what we built. So yeah, y'all, this right here, I started working with them on getting their YouTube channel up and going because I basically was like, look, y'all, like you've been doing a lot of great things, but you're not showcasing it, man. The world needs to see what you guys are doing, so you should definitely do the YouTube channel and do a YouTube thing. And so they started their YouTube channel. By the way, subscribe to their channel if you are not subscribed. Go ahead, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're here at the Hope. So yeah, a lot of these people, man, like a lot of these people that I see on Saturdays, like, you know, a lot of our like society always assumes the worst when it comes to homelessness, man. Like when you see somebody on the street or whatever, their case is not always, oh, they just love drugs or they're alcoholic and they're a loser. These are humans, man. Like for me, I was just somebody who went to college, worked hard, got my degree, got into the industry that I love, into the AAA game industry. You know what I mean? And then after all that hard work, I got laid off and I was basically like, all right, you know what? I see a lot of problems in the game industry that need to be solved. I'm going to try to solve it with my team. And did this business startup thing, indie game studio. And doing a startup is very hard. You have to figure out how to survive. Not only that, you have to provide the money that is needed for this thing to get off the ground. And so, you know, at that time, when I came out of my housing arrangement, I had this contract where I was doing volunteer work in it with youth in exchange for housing. And that contract ended. At that time, I looked at the rents and I said, oh, heck nah, like this is crazy. Like 15 or 1700 for a freaking studio. I was like, oh no, like that, I can't do that. I'm like, my money needs to go towards building the startup. So I was sleeping in my van. You see what I'm saying? The story is not always like, you know, what some people may think of why someone is homeless. You know what I mean? And I actually know somebody, I know someone else in number 6 that mentoring. You know, this person is that they just went from group home to group home or foster care, and now they're out there. They're not homeless, but they're still like in some housing arrangements that's, you know, it's not common. You know what I mean? It's still having to figure out how to survive, you know? And so tiny houses, man, it presents an opportunity for people like that person I'm talking about in number 6 on this list, or myself, you know what I mean? Or somebody that's just, you know, like I said, maybe they're a veteran, maybe they're single mother, maybe they're trying to start a business. Who knows? You know what I mean? But this is needed. So how we are changing the world through an indie game. So I just showed y'all number 1. All right. From me getting a tiny house, I get that path of me starting my indie game, having to figure out where I was going to live while building an indie game, because the reality is you're not some AAA company who's got a huge funding behind some big backed, like, you know, corporation or whatever, right? You got to figure out how you're going to make your game while you're surviving and funding the game, like the people who have to make the game. So the path of that, of me doing that, led me to getting my house, led me to working with organizations who build tiny homes and who are helping the homeless. I'm showing all of this, and it's not to brag about how we're, you know, what we're contributing to the world. The purpose of showing this to you all is so that we can invite you to our community to help us and support us and join us in doing these things. That's the purpose of me sharing this with you all, because I've been very undercover, you know, doing these things. And I realized I had that revelation where I'm like, man, how many more people would love to be a part of building something and supporting something like this? You know, I'm like, man, I really have to really focus on my community and the people that align in order to be able to make these endeavors happen, because there's power in numbers. So that's why I'm sharing this with you all. It's not sharing it to brag about what we're doing. In fact, that's against my beliefs. You know what I mean? It's not for me to be like, oh, I did something and, you know, and I'm helping this one, so yeah, check us out. No, it's not about that. So yeah, y'all, that is exactly how an indie game, if you align with any of these things, if you align with any of this, that being said, hit the like button. If you align with any of it, hit that like button. If you align with any of these things on this list and you haven't already, subscribe to the channel so that you can join us in helping us do more of this. And number 9, more of the things that I'm not even aware of. Maybe there's something that you may see in my journey like, yo, we could use more of this. And if that's the truth, I'm like, all right, we got to do more of that because the people are saying that they want more of that, whatever that thing I'm unaware of. So anyway, that is all, y'all. So like I said, anybody who told you that video games will not serve our people, does not do anything for your life or anyone else's life, or it does not serve, or it's a waste of time, is a fat lie. Once again, video games are an art form. Whether you play or whether you create it, it's an art form, just like a lot of different things. Music, film, whatever it may be. If that's the case, everybody stop watching movies, stop listening to music, stop making television shows and films. Let's just get rid of all of it. Yeah, let's see what the world is like without art. Let's see. Anyway, I'll catch y'all later, man. I'm out.